Iran said overnight the Strait of Hormuz is closed. CENTCOM came out this morning and said the Strait of Hormuz is open. Which is it, Mr. President, and how are you going to respond?
And I don't want to talk about it because I want to honor.
I don't want to talk about it, but just know that it's open. It's open, and I don't want to talk about it, but it's open. And anyone who says otherwise is lying. You know, I just want you to know, Mr. Lindsey Graham, he would not have liked this. He would have. A man is dead, and you want to immediately use this for your political gain. Incredible. See, this is why people don't like the fake news. All right. Trump just talked about it.
Overnight, the United States lost one of its most influential and consequential senators. Lindsey Graham died Saturday evening after what his office called a brief and sudden illness. He was 71 years old. Just hours earlier, Senator Graham had returned to Washington from a trip to Ukraine. He was scheduled to join us here on...
Which, by the way, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. The conspiracy theorists have already started conspiracy theoring. Yesterday, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham visited Ukraine to assure Zelensky support of the United States. The warmonger was shown a secret drone manufacturing facility in Kiev. Well, this facility no longer exists after strikes by the Russian MOD. Without warning, 6 missiles struck 2 manufacturing facilities in the Kiev region. Confirmed strikes on drone strikes, which started a huge fire. None of Russia's ballistic missiles were shot down. Lindsey Graham is no longer in Ukraine. Okay, get your tinfoil ready. Graham inspected a drone factory in Ukraine yesterday. Russia blew up that facility today. Then tonight, it's announced that he's dead from sudden illness. No more details. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't believe this. I'm sorry. I don't believe this. But I do love whenever conspiracy theorists go off like this. It's just fun to watch. Listen, man, it's still funny as fuck, dude. I just don't think that, like, I don't think Russia would do something. I don't think, and maybe I'm totally mistaken. I don't think 2026 Russia would, more specifically Putin, would so openly kill a U.S. senator. But anything is possible. Yes, Putin would.
Meet the press this morning for what would have been
1827. Did you notice how I said 2026? Putin loves to whack people. Yeah, but Americans are a little bit different. Again, not something that's so out in the open, right? So, yeah.
His 64th appearance. He was one of the broadcast's most frequent guests. Instead, this morning, we remember a man who served South Carolina for more than 2 decades, who helped shape America's foreign policy, whose voice was a constant presence in our national debate. And
didn't Russia help blow up a U.S. senator's plane in the 1900s? Okay, did we all just miss the part where I said in 2026? Did I not say that part out loud? In case I didn't say that out loud, in 2026, I think that would be unlikely.
Whose death has left colleagues of both parties in shock. We'll look back at his life, his public service, and his lasting impact on the Senate and the country. And to start us off and do that, joining me now on the phone is President Donald Trump for reaction to the death of his close friend. President Trump, thank you for joining us, and my condolences to you.
Well, thank you. He's a tough one to lose. He was great. He was unique in every way, actually.
Dude, he's like holding back his anger that he just made the South Carolina Senate race more difficult for Republicans.
He was, Mr. President, and I know that we are all just absorbing this news. We are all in shock. Can you tell us, Mr. President, how you received this news and your immediate gut reaction when you heard it?
So what makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime in, the early evening maybe in the sevens, and he called and he said, we're all set for the Save America Act. He was pushing the Save America Act like crazy. He got back, said he just landed from Ukraine. I said, that's a long trip to make. And he said, he sounded a little tired, but perfect, but a little bit tired. I had a right to be. And he was a worker. He was really a worker. But he sounded great, actually. But
he sounded great.
He actually said he was tired, but he wanted to pass the Save America Act. And I said,
dude, I'm sorry. It's something so funny about Republicans consistently being the only ones to say, I sure hope people don't use this guy's death for their personal gain. I hope that they don't do that for their political agendas. And then Trump, without any hesitation, without skipping a beat, saying, also, it's what he would have wanted. He would have wanted us to pass the SAVE Act. That's what he would have wanted. He also would have wanted the ballroom. I think like the last thing he said to me, the last conversation he said was like, first of all, he said, Donald Trump, you're the best and you're the greatest and you love America and Americans and you're going to help everyone in every way. And then after that, he said, you need to pass the SAVE Act. We need to. You know, I feel pretty healthy, but if I was to have a dying wish, even though I feel really healthy right now, it would be to pass the SAVE Act and to get the ballroom, you know? And honestly, if we could get like a giant statue built in your honor, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go to sleep and I will be waking up tomorrow, definitely. All right. Good night.
Well, we're going to get it done, Lindsey. We're going to get it done. I'll see you like soon. We thought maybe we might even meet today. And then that was it. And that was, very around the time. It couldn't have been much longer. It could have been his last call. I don't know exactly, but I got a message about 1 o'clock in the morning from one of the people at his office that he had passed away. I said, I just can't believe it. He was like a member of the family to me. It's very tough, actually. It's amazing.
Mr. President.
He was such an advocate. He was, if he wanted to get something, and he had a unique ability. He was able to deal with Democrats and Republicans. If I had a problem, a real problem, I wouldn't often ask. But if I had a problem with a Democrat, he could work it out. He was a great politician, actually.
He loved his work, Mr. President. Yep. I hear you saying that in this final conversation that you have emblematic. He was tireless, but it brought him such joy, didn't it?
No, there was nobody like him.
Oh my God, dude, Trump sounds like shit. Oh my God.
Joy, didn't it?
No, there was nobody like him. He loved being a politician, and he was going to win it.
Holy shit, dude! What the fuck?
It brought him such joy, didn't it?
No, there was nobody like him. He loved being a politician, and he was going to win his election. He was going to win it big. I endorsed him very early, and he was going to win it big. He just had it made, and he just loved being a politician. I said, the reason I'm endorsing you is because I got to make sure you win, because if you didn't win, I don't think you could handle life. I really don't. He was a man, there are guys that can lose and they go into something else. I can't imagine him doing anything else. I said, if you weren't a U.S. Senator, I don't know if you could live very long, and look what happens. He was going to have a big...
I'm sorry, wait, what?
Go into something.
Wait, what? What did he just say? Did I mishear that?
Something in life. I really don't. He loved being a politician. I said, the reason I'm endorsing you is because I got to make sure you win, because if you didn't win, I don't think you could handle life. I really don't. He was a man, there are guys that can lose and they go into something else. I can't imagine him doing anything else. I said, if you weren't a U.S. Senator, I don't know if you could live very long, and look...
Dude, the worst person to give a eulogy, the worst person to get a eulogy from has to be Trump. Yeah, and I told him, if you weren't a senator, I don't think you would live very long. I think you'd die immediately. You have nothing going for you. You have no family. You have no one you love in your life. They don't like you. Nobody likes you. But, I don't think you would, but that's okay because you can be a senator for me.
What happens? He was going to have a big victory. And the people loved him. Everybody loved him. Well, no, he had some enemies. He was a tough cookie. Don't misunderstand. He was a tough cookie in many ways. If he wanted to get something, if he thought he was right and he had people against him, he could be very tough, actually. But he was a good person.
Mr. President, it is just extraordinary. You just spoke with him last night. His office says he passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Are you learning any more details about how and why he may have passed? Did he tell you anything in that phone call, Mr. President, about not feeling well?
No, he said he's a little tired. He went a long trip, many hours. And he had just gotten back. And it must have been right after that because I understand the police or whoever it is came there at about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening, something like that. So somebody notified him. But no, he felt okay. I actually, on the call, he told me, Kristen, he said, I feel good, but I'm tired. He was fine. I knew him well. He would let you know if he wasn't feeling well. He had days where he didn't feel so well, and he'd let you know about it. But he was a fantastic person. He was a man who you're going to watch. It's going to be a very big thing with him. He's going to be appreciated more now than he was when he was living, I think.
And just to make that...
This one photo is fucking frying me. This photo of him walking. This photo fries me every time they put it on the screen, dude.
He was a man who you're going to watch. It's going to be a very big thing.
Wait, let me fix the subtitles a little bit. Hold up. Hold them. Wait. There we go.
With him, he's going to be appreciated more now than he was when he was living, I think.
I think it's crazy, and I think he's gonna be appreciated more now that he finally kicked the can. Now that he's not with us and speaking anymore, I think he'll be appreciated more now. I think that's.
And just to make that point, authorities were called to his home responding to initial reports of a cardiac arrest. Again, his office saying a brief and sudden illness. Do you have any more details?
I would think it would be that because when I spoke to him, it could have been, minutes before, based on based on the fact that I heard about the call, whatever time that was. So it was shortly before. But it had to be something like that because he was, other than being tired, he was fine. And so it had to be something like that would just be a quick end. And maybe...
Oh my God! I couldn't say something this mean about Lindsey Graham if I tried, man. Oh my God. It had to be a quick end. That's the only thing it could have been. It had to kill him immediately. It had to be something fast, something quick, maybe painful. I don't know. Maybe it could have hurt him. Maybe it was painful. Maybe he was writhing in pain, foaming at the mouth. But it had to be quick. It had to be a quick end. It must have been a nice quick end. I know a guy. He's very smart. He goes by Light Yagami. He's got this book. He's got this funny book. And he tells me it can kill people with a heart attack immediately. Maybe that's what happened. But he's a funny guy. I love Mr. Yagami. He's so great. He's just joking, though. He's just joking around. There's no way that's what happened. But, must have been a quick end. It had to be.
That's not the worst way to go.
He
had some fine moments. His moment on Brett Kavanaugh.
Dude, she's trying not to laugh right now, dude. The fucking smirk is crazy.
It's one of the classics, I think, in the history of the Senate. His moment was literally one of the great classics of anyone in the Senate when he defended Brett Kavanaugh so brilliantly. And Brett might not have made it except for that. They were treating him very unfairly. Good man. They treated
Ew.
him so unfairly, and Lindsey was so angry at the Senate because of it, and he had really an emotional moment. And I think that saved Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court, ascension. Lindsey did something that he was just so angry at the way Brett was being treated by the Democrats. It was so unfair. It was so unfair.
I want to ask you more about his legacy.
Lindsey got that over. Lindsey did a thing there that was, I think, nobody else could have done that.
Let me ask you a little bit more about his legacy. And I know you remember this moment, Mr. President, back in 2015, when he was one of your challengers on the campaign trail, the two of you facing off against each other. And then he very quickly became one of your staunchest allies, Mr. President. And he, frankly, never let up in that posture.
No, he never did.
Played golf together, frequently on the phone together. What do you think it is about Senator Graham that allowed him to make that transition from competitor?
Oh, he transitioned? I didn't know that about him. Oh, good for him.
To ally so quickly and so forcefully?
Well, I got to know Lindsey during the campaign. I didn't really know him then. I met him once or twice, but nothing. And I got to know him during...
Transitioned into a corpse. Guys. Just because you want to write something that would be very funny and would make a lot of people laugh and would increase the overall joy in the world, doesn't mean you can just do that, man. You can't just do that, man.
The campaign. He was tough, but he said, I'll see you in South Carolina. He was, but when it came to South Carolina,
he died on me. He died on me. Now we're going to get a crazy Democrat. We're going to get a crazy Democrat now because he died. This sack of shit, he died on me. I don't know. Maybe they can vote for dead people in South Carolina. I'm thinking we should let them vote for dead people. He told me, Lindsey Graham told me. He told me, honestly, if the people vote for me, I think you should be able to make policies on my behalf. You should pick someone for me. Okay? The people wanted me, and I'm giving that power to you. Hi, little bear. Didn't he literally die on him?
in South Carolina by a lot. And I sort of ran the table on everybody, and it was good. And he appreciated it. He respected it. And we sort of got a little bit friendly, and the friendship grew. It just grew. And he was an amazing advocate.
They really don't have a single flattering photo of this man, huh?
He was, I don't know how you find anybody like him. He was so intent. I mean, he literally called me about the Save America Act. That's why that's where I heard. Think of it. He's traveling for many, many hours. That's a long flight. That's a long trip. And he, calls me about the Save America Act. He thought we were going to get it passed.
Do you remember
This is a big blow to the Save America Act, let me tell you.
Do you remember, Mr. President, what was the last thing you said to him? What was the last thing he said to you?
I remember it very clearly. Thank you for asking me. Finally, I've been waiting for you to ask this question. I was thinking, what a waste of time. I'm on NBC News, and she still hasn't asked me this question, whatever your name is. Listen, he told me, good night, sweetie. I love you. I love you so much. Many kisses. And remember, Save America Act must be passed over my dead body. And I thought at the time that was very weird because he told me he was feeling healthy. But that's what he told me. And that's what he said.
He said, we'll see you soon. Come over anytime you want. He came into the White House a lot because I liked him.
He was coming in the White House because you liked him?
I do that with everybody. But he'd come in
Thanks, Spirit Colin. Welcome.
a lot. And he was a great, like a gauge, a temperature.
You can't say that. And I stream on Twitter. You can't say you can't just say that to Twitch chatters. You can't just say he was a great like gauge. He was a great gauge. He was embarrassed to share it, and I told him you should be who you are. You should be your true self. And he said, "No, my time passed. Pride month is over. They will never accept me."
Gauge, but he'd come in a lot. And he was a great, like a gauge, a temperature gauge of the Senate. He was somebody that most Democrats liked. Some,
especially the men. The men loved him, and he loved them. Oh my Lord, did he love them?
didn't, but most Democrats liked. And just about all of the Republicans liked Lindsey. He got along with everybody. And yet he was a tough cookie in a lot of ways, but he had honestly, he was a great politician. People don't realize what a good politician he was. He could go in and get something approved. He would just get people on his side. He was really a talented. I don't say you probably never heard me say that about anybody because there aren't too many of them. Let me tell you. Sometimes you'll meet somebody that's been there for 25 years. You say, how did they stay? They're not. This man was a great politician. He really got it.
To that point, Mr. President, it's nearly impossible to think about replacing Senator Lindsey Graham, and yet the governor.
You guys, the sun is like really shining. Like, I'm not even speaking metaphorically because that guy fucking kicked the can. The sun is really shining today. 1 second. It's like actually like my eyes. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a good day. It's a great day. It's a gauge day. Is that better? And now it's not. Now there's not enough light. I feel like that's better. There we go.
Of the great state of South Carolina is going to need to appoint someone on an interim basis. There will also be a special election called. Do you have, I know it's only hours, but is there someone you think he should appoint? Is there someone you think he will appoint?
I have somebody that I think would be great, but I don't want to say it now because it just, it's too soon with Lindsey. I don't want to even talk about anybody, but I do have.
Oh, thanks, Feedback Loop. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest. It's hard to imagine a world where South Carolina doesn't go red. How many years in a row has South Carolina been red? Do I even want to look? Since 1976, is that accurate? Let's see. List of U.S. senators from South Carolina. Do I have like Dark Reader or something? How do I make it not? Okay, there we go. Much better.
My lawyer can't do fucking shit.
That's what I've been saying, man. That's what I've been saying. How do you pronounce this username? Idna? Is that right? Thank you for the 10 gift subs. What the? Thank you. Hold up. Wait. Let's go to modern day. Thank you. Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's been it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. So at least for the past 20 years, it's been nothing but Republicans. So I find it pretty hard to believe. Also, man, I gotta say, it's so depressing to look at like senators because it's crazy that like so much of their time is spent campaigning for the next election and then they can serve infinitely. It's like this has to be like the worst of both worlds. They're in forever, but because the Senate periods are so short, they spend all of that time fucking campaigning. That's insane. I'll try and like find some maps and stuff of like the previous election cycle. I'm pretty sure the guy before Lindsey was a fucking Klans member, by the way.
Denims' feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, did I say 2? I meant 6. I apologize. It's like, I mean, just think about like, you know what's even more insane? If you look at other countries have unbelievably short election cycles, and ours are like minimum for any seat that's longer than 2 years, it's a 2-year period of time of campaigning. And then obviously every senator's like, well, the first year, it's really hard to do anything. Sorry. I'm just doing my best over here. And then there's like 3 years of question mark and then 2 years of campaigning. It's like, oh, okay. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Somebody that I think is really good. The governor's a good friend of mine. I've endorsed him. You know, I endorsed him early on, and he endorsed me right from the beginning as a person that never did this before. In 2016, he came out and very strongly endorsed me, and then I made up for it. I removed somebody from office that I didn't think was so good, moved her over to the United Nations. 95% of my doing that, because the United Nations job was not exactly tough. Yeah, it could be very important, but you know, she was okay at it. But I did it because Henry McMaster was the lieutenant.
He's talking about Nikki Haley. And I did that in great part because that job is not very hard. That job is so easy to do. I just gave it to her because I figured, and she did okay. She was okay. It was an easy job, and she only did okay. But
Governor, and by moving her, I got myself a great, really a great guy. Henry McMaster has been a really good governor, really good guy, and you know that position cleared out. And Henry's been a great governor. You know, now he's termed out, but he's going to do the right thing. I think Henry will be fantastic. Remember, he endorsed me out of nowhere. He said, "I like that guy the best," and he campaigned for me with his wife, with Peg. Yeah. He campaigned for me. I'd say, "Who is that man that's campaigning all the time?" I hardly knew him. They said, "That's the lieutenant governor." So they have a great governor, and he's going to make a good decision. But ultimately, it's going to be an election pretty soon. As I understand the rules, every state is different. But ultimately, they'll have an election. They'll have some people
Denims,
join.
do you believe that things happen in threes? Let's say I want to believe. Let's say that. I'll say that much. Okay? All right? That's what I will say. I'm looking forward to the media scorning people for their reaction to Lindsey Graham's death. Everyone's excited and commenting on all the media's posts about how exciting this is. I mean, like, first of all, Americans overwhelmingly, especially young people, don't like the Israel First Congress people. They don't like they literally, it's so crazy because even on, I'll make like new, so previously on Instagram, all I was doing was just images, and I was like, oh, like I'll start posting like memes and stuff and start posting like short form videos. So I was like, okay, well, best way to like figure out how to do something is to watch what already does pretty well and then go from there and learn from like that. So I'm like sitting there and I'm watching stuff, and the number of like, and I have never watched Reels before on my account. Like I've never even liked posts. Like I've never even used Instagram before ever. And I'm like looking, and it's like there are so many people who hate Israel. The number of reels, I was like, dude, I can't like these. I can't. Like, I can't. Like, I have to be like, skip. And it's like, are you interested? I'm like, not interested. No, stop. I can't have my feed be this. And there's so much content on TikTok less so now, but also Instagram Reels and just like short form content in general of like, people don't want to go and fucking die for Israel, man. They just don't want to do that. People don't want to join another forever war to go die for a fucking country that gives its citizens health care on our fucking dollar. Meanwhile, insulin is $5 billion in the United States. Like, nobody wants that. So when people ask someone like Ted Cruz, Israel first or America first, and Ted Cruz says Israel first, I can't imagine people enjoy that very much, you know? So I think they'll be hard pressed to find people who even like Lindsey Graham, honestly.
Some are good, some are bad. And but I have somebody that I like, but I'm not going to tell you who now because it's too soon.
All right, fair enough. We will.
I never
track
thought I'd
it.
be in this position.
Yeah.
I said I thought Lindsey was going to be living forever.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Again, I'm always hopium pill chat. I think I would have to. I didn't even bother looking into like the South Carolina seat at all because I was like, I mean, Lindsey Graham's just going to fucking win again. So what's the fucking point? Like it's a waste of my fucking time. And now I'm like, well, I didn't predict this guy fucking dropping dead. All right, sorry, my bad. Mr. Denims failed this time. So I'll do some more research and see like the polling and the historical data and stuff and how much people know. I think what is it currently? Annie Andrews is the Democrat choice. I don't think it's impossible that she wins, honestly, considering the timing. Because even if like they have, I don't know if it would be considered a runoff right now. Even if they tried to push as hard as they could for a new Republican candidate that isn't Lindsey Graham, because last I checked, let me pull it up. She won by 61% for the Democratic primary. And he won the Republican primary by 56%, but it was like a 20-point lead. Hers was a 30-point lead. Name recognition alone, it's not impossible. Serious question number one, would you ever run for any public office? No. Fuck no, dude. I'm the internet funny lady, okay? I just want to talk about things, and I just happen to like talking about politics. Okay? Yeah, I think it'd be cool to like impact change impact the world in a positive way in some way. You know, drop some hopium, but if you want someone to run for Congress, you should be asking Congress for that, all right? Congress fans, rise up. That's what you should be looking for. Not me, dude. I belong on the computer where I can play my video games, man. Funny, I'm here for internet cringe lady. Oh, fuck. Also, it would literally be nepotism because of Mayor Cat. That's true. Yeah, so there's going to be, not runoff, sorry, I don't know why I said runoff. Special election August 11th, it looks like.
I said, Lindsey, you're going to live forever. And he was going to have a big victory. You know, he was scheduled to win by a lot. He had my support, and he was going to win by a lot. He was going to have one of his best elections ever, and now he's got this terrible.
Well, I had.
He's got this terrible? Wait, what?
Big victory. You know, he was scheduled to win by a lot. He had my support, and he was going to win by a lot. He was going to have one of his best elections ever, and now he's got this terrible.
Well, I had the great honor of being able to talk to him a couple of times this week, Mr. President. And as you can imagine, we talked about a lot of foreign policy. We talked about a lot of Iran. And in honor of him, I want to still have some of those conversations. Those were the conversations he wanted to have here this morning, Mr. President. You obviously launched a fresh round of strikes overnight. Iran said overnight the Strait of Hormuz is closed. CENTCOM came out this morning and said the Strait of Hormuz is open. Which is it, Mr. President, and how are you going to respond?
And I don't want to talk about it because I want to honor.
I don't want to talk about it, but just know that it's open. It's open, and I don't want to talk about it, but it's open. And anyone who says otherwise is lying. You know, I just want you to know, Mr. Lindsey Graham, he would not have liked this. He would have. A man is dead, and you want to immediately use this for your political gain. Incredible. See, this is why people don't like the fake news. Everyone knows the only thing he wanted was for the Save America Act to pass and for the ballrooms to be built. Not this. No one cares. No one cares about the Strait of Hormuz. And, you know, honestly, I would tell you that in all the time I knew Lindsey Graham, he didn't want to talk about the Strait of Hormuz. He said it disgusted him. He said it wasn't natural. He said he didn't understand.
It's the life of Lindsey Graham, so I don't want to talk about it. I told you that before the call.
Yeah.
It's open. We bombed the hell out of them last night. They're very, very evil and sick people. We had meetings with them for the last. They agreed to a deal yesterday, a perfect deal for us. No nuclear, no this, no that, no nothing. They gave up everything. And then after that, they left the room. And then within an hour, they launched a drone at a ship. I said, you people are sick. You're sick people. And so it's one of those things. I don't want to talk about it.
Finally, before I let you go,
I want to talk about one person today, Lindsey Graham.
As we should, Mr. President. Just finally, before I let you go, what is the legacy of Senator Lindsey Graham, Mr. President?
He's got so many legacies, but one of the legacies is a Supreme Court justice who's excellent named Brett Kavanaugh. That's one of the legacies. That's a big legacy because Brett was being treated very unfairly. I don't think he could have gotten through without Lindsey's classic. I mean, if you go back into the top 10, I think it would be a top 10, a top 5 in the history of the Senate. The emotion, the anger, the love, the whole thing, everything was in that. It was. I called him up. I said, that's one of the great classics of all time.
What? Can I hear this again?
For us, no nuclear, no this, no that, no nothing. They gave up everything. And then after that, they left the room. And then within an hour, they launched a drone at a ship. I said, you people are sick. You're sick people. And so it's one of those things. I don't want to talk about it.
Finally, before I let you go.
I want to talk about one person today, Lindsey Graham.
As we should, Mr. President. Just finally, before I let you go, what is the legacy of Senator Lindsey Graham, Mr. President?
He's got so many legacies, but one of the legacies is a Supreme Court justice who's excellent named Brett Kavanaugh. That's one of the legacies. That's a big legacy because Brett was.
Imagine your best legacy, according to the president, is supporting like a guy that was accused by multiple women of sexual misconduct, assault, and I don't want to say rape because I don't remember the details. It's been so long and it's so depressing that Brett Kavanaugh is sitting in a lifetime appointment. There might have been someone. Let me see, Brett Kavanaugh. Let me just double check. Okay, I think technically the only thing that they accused him of was sexual assault. And they said that he was there at like events where rape occurred, but he had only engaged in sexual assault. I could be mistaken if there's if someone has other reporting. This is just like a random news. After this I wiped it from my memory because I was so fucking depressed. Only. Okay.
being treated very unfairly. I don't think he could have gotten through without Lindsey's classic. I mean, if you go back into the top 10, I think it would be a top 10, a top 5 in the history of the Senate. The emotion, the anger, the love, the whole thing, everything was in that. It was. I called him up. I said, that's one of the great classics of all time. He was a great politician. He really was. He got along with a lot of people that you wouldn't think of. He was somebody that loved our country, and he fought very hard for the country. And I know he was going to do your show today. He told me, I'm doing Meet the Press. Can you believe it? He said, here I am doing Meet the Press for him. But he told me last night he's doing Meet the Press. So,
Dude, what a crazy way to talk about someone. And, last night he told me he was going to do Meet the Press, but I guess, can you believe it? Can you believe it? It didn't work out for him. But I'll do it for him, I never give a job to someone incompetent. I guess I have to do it now. Unbelievable. But can you believe it? I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
I said, just relax and take it easy, Lindsey. You just got
his idea of a compliment is remembering things people have done for him. Yes.
Back from a long trip. But I thought he was just going to live forever. And it didn't work out that way.
Mr. President, our deepest condolences to you. I know that you have lost a friend as well as one of your closest allies. And we
the least
deeply
convincing,
appreciate you joining us today and giving us your reflections on Senator Lindsey Graham,
why not? It was a great
the nation's capital and
sure.
the country mourning today. Mr. President, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Kristen.
I didn't really like that he was saying bad things about me at one point, but sure, he died loving me, so you take what we can get. You take what you can get. I can't believe I'm still in awe. Like, you could have asked me, like, I would have put down my life saving that Mitch McConnell will be pronounced dead before Lindsey Graham. If you asked me like a couple days ago, and I would have been so fucking wrong. Holy shit. If you told me like which senator do you think is going to die next, Lindsey Graham was not